more time. Sorry. Are you recording on there?
I look directly at the camera when I'm like, hello, internet.
Mastermind family, welcome back to the show. I am your host, JoJo, and today is Artist Motivation. We bring on the hottest, latest artists and allow them to bring insight, inspiration, hope, so you can go out and create amazing content. And we have two very special guests, and I'd like them to introduce themselves.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Heckin' Bear. You can call me Bear, though.
Okay, we'll call you Bear.
Yeah, just call me Bear. It's cool.
Hi, I'm Lily Lionheart Draws.
Dope. And so, Mastermind family, let's get this thing kicked off. So, Bear, what is it like being in the artist industry? Like, tell me, like, what does an artist to do to make money?
To make money, you have to work really hard, sacrifice a small goat. No.
Hey, a small goat? Come on.
Baby goat in the middle of a pentagram. No. It takes a lot of you have to work really hard.
Sure.
You have to be open to criticism always. And you always have to just keep grinding even when it looks like it's not working out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same there. Pretty much covered everything. It's going to be very hard. You're going to have a lot of failures, but from your failures you'll learn. From your failures you'll learn, and you'll end up having good things happen.
Sure.
As far as making money, it takes a lot of skill. It also takes a bunch of luck. Like a lot of you can be the best artist out there, but if you're just if you're not at the right place at the right time, it might not be your big breakthrough. Whereas someone who's not maybe as skilled as you are, if they're let's say they're at Comic-Con and someone's like, I love your work. By the way, I work for Marvel. Do you want to work for us? Right? Versus the other person who maybe didn't catch a table, right? It's all about luck, timing, skill, and it's just a mix of all that stuff.
Very true.
Yeah.
I mean, I 100% agree with that. If sometimes you just have to be at the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah.
Because even though you have somebody that is just as skilled, maybe better, it's just the opportunity didn't line up, right?
Yep.
So I gotta ask this serious question: how do you stay motivated? I know times get tough sometimes, but how do you actually stay focused and motivated and not get discouraged?
For me, it's I do a lot of Twitch streams and I do cons, and for me, I think the interaction of seeing someone look at my work and laugh or cry or be like, I can't believe you would draw that, and be like, ha, suckers. Because what got me into art was when I watch movies, I feel something, and that's media can do that. Art, it doesn't matter what kind of art you make, it can make someone feel something, and that's really powerful.
Right.
So for me, it's even when I'm feeling really shitty and I'm just I can't do this, I'm I can't, blah blah blah, crying. I just I kind of think when I draw that one thing that will make me smile, hopefully it makes someone else smile. Yeah.
Well said.
Honestly, it's the same. It's especially for cons, trying to get ready for stuff like this, it can get very stressful.
Yeah.
Stressful.
Totally stressful. Yeah.
And it's just you're constantly I want to make new things, but then with me, I have a day job aside from this, and that takes up so much time.
Wow.
And I only have maybe 2 hours before I have to go to sleep to wake up really early in the morning to go back to work to my day job. So it's finding the time to do it is really hard, and finding the motivation is even harder.
Yeah.
But but then what I do is that even I had a problem right now for this con. It's I really wanted to make new prints, but I couldn't. I literally, it was agony trying to do it. I had a bunch of sketches done, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I just decided I'm not going to kill myself to do something and make something that I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing is I ended up making crafts, and I had a really good time. It killed me. I was literally the past 2 weeks before this con, before these 2 weeks before this con, sorry, I was just killing myself trying to make these, and honestly, there was a lot of times where I'm just maybe I shouldn't do it and stuff, and
Sure.
But I managed to make 3 of them, and like people who came up. It's like, oh my gosh, I really love this, and they like tell me what I love about it, and then I'm just like, that's the biggest motivation to me. Like a lot of times, even if they don't buy anything and they tell me I really love your art, and they tell me what they love about it, I'm just like, thank you.
You're giving me the juice to keep going, right?
Yeah, it's like it's not the. What doesn't get me motivated is when people buy things from me, is when they tell me it's like something that they appreciate about it, or like we like
the validation.
Yeah, and we start bonding over just not that long ago, I was talking to somebody for 30 minutes straight about Kingdom Hearts because I'm obsessed with it, and that motivates me even more. And we're like, yeah, make more content because I want like people to gravitate to me who love Kingdom Hearts, and I'm just nerd out with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so then knowing that and being said, but like, how does one actually get started? Like, how do you know what specific niche to go after or what specific thing to do? I mean, because it's a wide window. You can do fan art, you can make your own, or like, how do you get started?
You try everything. Like, try everything you want to try. Okay. If you are like okay, hold on. I got like a million like.
Rewind.
Basically, anything that interests you is worth exploring because you never know if that thing that you're like, oh, that looks cool. You don't know if that looks cool thing is gonna be your thing.
Right.
For me, like I do drawing, but I also like cosplay. I like stream, and I do I pet dogs, but that's petting dogs doesn't make you famous, but doing things that you like to do,
right?
Like that's your motivation. You do it because you like it, and hopefully, like you're in the right movement or you're in the right place where your craft gets noticed. So like I also do 3D animations. Hey, spoiler alert.
Dang,
hey.
You hear that?
But that's been something where I was like, oh, it'd be cool if I could make something move, and I was like, oh, it, let's do it. And so you just do it, and you start being good at one thing, and then it just slowly expands into a bunch of things.
Sure. And
you find out what works for you. But if you stick to I only want to draw fan art from this thing, it might not work out for you. And it's always good to have other options. Like don't be narrow-minded in life, and don't be narrow-minded in your craft either.
Sure.
Right? Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Mine isn't as inspirational.
Oh, come on, give yourself some credit.
Mine was more kind of like I love this content, but this certain kind of content doesn't exist. I'm gonna make it then. That's how it was. So that's how I started out. It's just I just want really cute things, so I just made it.
That is amazing.
That's valid.
That's dope. I mean, if it ain't there, create it, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, now I gotta ask this question. Is it important to network with people, or should you just kind of stay in your own world as an artist? Does that matter? I mean, is it important? Do you want
to answer this? Because I've been taking all the questions.
It is important to network, but I feel the most important advice I can ever give is don't be a dick. Because you can be the most amazing artist,
right?
But if you're rude, it's that's just
no one's gonna want to work with you.
No,
100%.
Yeah, and then it's and then you just honestly I. Even with school, we went to art school together.
Hey.
When they would go to assignments where it's oh, go network and stuff like that, it was really off-putting because it was kind of it felt am I just going to meet people just to try to get ahead? It's like that word networking was kind of weird for me.
Yeah.
So but later on, it was just kind of I'm just going. Instead, I took it more as go out and make friends with other artists.
Sure.
And from there, it's kind of you grow and then you motivate each other, and then next thing you know, it's oh, I have a friend of a friend of mine is looking for artists that in your style suits them. It's suits what they're looking for, and
right.
It's why don't you check them out? Or that's how you end up networking. So just don't be a dick and make friends with other people genuinely, and that's the best advice I can give.
Well said.
For me, honestly, 100% networking is so obnoxious. If you're in art school and they give you a networking assignment, don't do it. And I'm gonna tell you why you don't do it. Because those professionals have a job. They're doing something. So you're taking time out of their schedule if you're messaging them them during the day.
Yeah.
You're taking time out of their work schedule. And then they have their own social life. So it's not fair for the professionals to have to come back and teach you something. That's the teacher's responsibility. I'm really much of the, like, I do cons because, yeah, I like talking to fans, but I love networking. I like walk around the booths and I'm just like, hey, I'm an artist too. And, like, I like making connections more organically, like Lily said. I like being able to chat with someone and then all of a sudden, like, oh, by the way, I'm referring you to a job because I know you do this and stuff like that.
Correct.
I feel like if I've never been the person to do like, oh, there's a mixer for artists. I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk to anyone. Like, I'm antisocial. Like, I'm gonna be at home on my computer talking to my friends before I go to like a mixer. Because it feels so forced and it feels like everyone's expecting you to say like, hello, I am so and so. Like, nice to meet you. I'm like, but that's not me. I don't want to put up a false pretense to like people. You know, like obviously be professional when you're talking to other people, but like as far as like networking, like going to mixers and doing those assignments for school, I think they're so just like fake and just it's a waste of time. Be yourself and be respectful of other people, and that's how you make a network. You know?
Wow. Well said.
Yeah.
Those things are very important by far. I mean, like, networking, if you don't, it's like, it's not about, you know, what you know, it's about who you know.
Exactly.
Because sometimes that can be the
That's
gateway.
the luck factor of like, all it takes is for you to know one right person and you're in it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Woo! Got some fire over here. Okay, so your experience in this career, like, what is something you wish you would have known before jumping into this? Or somebody have told you? I'm going to start with you. Let's remix it.
Yeah, I have to marinate it.
You gave me the hard question. I'm trying to think back. It's man.
Take your time.
Alright, I can go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to, like you said, marinate.
So
on it.
if I was me and I was talking to me from the future, from the past, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would tell myself, you don't need to go to a fancy art school to learn. You don't even need to. Okay, this is gonna sound controversial. Whoa.
Controversial alert.
You don't need to go to school to learn art. I'm sorry, if you don't have the money to go to school, don't worry about it. YouTube's free. You have a bunch of tutorials. There's a bunch of other resources and websites that can help you do whatever you want to learn. There's a bunch of programs that are free. They might not be like Photoshop or industry standard, but as long as you can learn on one software, you can learn on any other software. I wish I would have told myself, especially because I was in community college before I went to art school, I would tell myself, like, you don't need to go to this fancy-ass art school, because that education isn't like a secret hidden thing that no one else is going to tell you about. It's information you can get everywhere. So if you really want to do it, just do it. Find a way to do it. It doesn't mean going to like the most prestigious school.
Yeah.
It also kind of like talking about school, don't compare yourself to other artists. A lot of people go like, oh, my art's not as good as so-and-so. Don't worry about what they're doing. Like, focus on yourself. Look at all that time you're spending, like, worrying about, like, who's better than who. Correct. And you could be focusing on yourself. Just compare yourself to who you were, like,
2 months ago.
2 months ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, like the other day, my Facebook memory's like, hey, remember you drew this? I'm like, oh, shit. And, like, it's amazing the improvement you can make as long as you're focused on what you need to do, not what everyone else is doing.
100%, because wherever focus goes, energy goes.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Also, don't be negative. Why are you gonna shit on yourself and be like, I wish I could be like so and so? I'm like, no, you don't have time to do that. You get wrinkles for worrying too, so just don't worry about it.
Well spoken.
Thank you.
All right, I got it.
All right.
So I'm gonna approach this question as to like advice to give myself, knowing like now like what I wish I could have told myself.
Sure.
So and honestly, it's
Get more
like
sleep too. Fuck. I'm sorry.
it ties into that, like, take breaks because for me it was like when I was in art school, it was just like, honestly, I lived at school pretty much. It's like I would be there when before the sun would rise,
Yeah.
and I would work on my stuff before classes, and then there was classes, and then aside from that, I remember at one point I was working three part-time jobs. Three part-time jobs, going to school full-time, and then also in addition to that, anytime the school had like an event where you could work, like I would do that too. And then so that was my entire week. And then weekends, same thing. I'd be at school from like before the sun would rise, and then I wouldn't go home until like 11 o'clock. Yeah. And this was like consistently for 4 years.
Yeah, our school had like 24-hour labs.
All right. Sorry for the hiccup.
Okay, so yeah, but take breaks. Like there was at one point, I was at school all the time, and like it was 4 years of this, and like literally when I left school, like I was a mess.
Yeah.
And like I am not kidding that like after I graduated, I was like, I wasn't even happy about graduating. I was just like, I want to go home and sleep. My family wanted to like celebrate. It's like, yeah, you're the first one to graduate from our family. This is great. Let's go celebrate. And I'm like, I can't. Like literally, like I want to go home and sleep, and just like that's all I want to do. Like that's how it was. And then like it was a really bad place.
Yeah.
And like last year, like I was like pushing myself so hard, like trying. Like an incident happened where like, I'm not getting it into it.
Okay. Yeah.
But like an incident happened where I was just full of like so much like rage and fury and spite to like that somebody said something like that I wasn't like my work wasn't. Long story short, somebody pretty much said that like I wasn't in the industry like
a professional
industry, and like that like what I was charging them, and I was undercharging them because I was like trying to be nice.
Oh, that's
like,
a no-no.
I know.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't
I was trying to be nice, and it put me in a really bad situation.
Also, if you get paid for your art, you're a professional. Sorry, I don't care where you work. You're a professional.
Done.
Like, someone gives you $1 for your art, you're a professional. Congratulations.
Done. Well
You
done.
did it.
Long story short, like because I wasn't in the industry as a professional, like this person was saying that like I shouldn't be charging this much for it, and I was undercharging them because I was trying to be nice, and that like and because of that, like I shouldn't do that, and like I was, and then so many times I tried to explain to them like why, like I was giving them the math how I broke it down, and like they were like, no, like please like change it and stuff, and then like I literally, it's unprofessional, but like I literally walked away from like I just like we're not going to talk about this anymore, and like and I worked with this person too, which made it even worse. And like that whole situation, which lasted for months, it's like it gave me so much fury and spite that like mostly angry at myself because I allowed a boy to put me down like that, because there's so much history behind it, so I'm not gonna go behind it.
Understood.
That it filled me with so much spite and rage where I'm like, I'm gonna work so hard and watch me. So like I'm at a better job now because of it within the art industry. So
if you see this, you already know what it is.
But like I pushed myself so hard that like it's good, but then it was really bad, which is why I say take breaks, because at one point like I pushed myself so hard that I caught, how do you say it? I can never pronounce it.
Pneumonia.
Yeah, I caught that. And like even when I had it, I was still working like really hard and pushing myself, and I was sick for 6 months because of it. And it like messed me up really bad, and like even now like I'm still dealing with consequences because of it. So it's just like take breaks, because like
That's when you send them the medical bill and be like, bitch, here you go.
Yeah, it's like I know like you're trying, like my advice is like I know that you're trying to like push yourself and you're trying to get hard, like trying to like get up there. Like I know it's hard, and like sometimes like people feel like they flex saying like, oh, I haven't slept like for days and stuff like that.
Shoot.
No, that's not cute.
Sleep's
no,
important.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like take care of yourself.
Drink water.
And have, like,
stretch your legs.
Yes, and go out, and like that's another thing. Like go out. Like if you go out to hike, or like it doesn't even have to be a hike. Go out with friends. Like you'll like
live.
You'll yes.
Go live. Go get some sun.
Yeah.
You'll get like inspiration for your work, and you'll actually feel better working on it too. So that's my advice. So long answer, but there you go. Breaks.
All right, so ladies, you gotta tell us, what are some special projects in the pipework that people should know about?
Wait.
What are some special
About to drop
projects
my
that
mixtape right now.
No, just like anything that you're working on that you're getting ready to release, like whether it's like a special book or, you know, maybe pieces that you're thinking about releasing. I mean, I don't know if you want to give teasers. Man, this is a plug.
Okay. So I've gotten to the point, like streaming wise, I've noticed like my drawing streams are popular, so I'm gonna open up a Patreon soon. So Patreon exclusives, all that crazy stuff. You're gonna be like, hey, draw this, and I'll be like, okay. But I'm also doing pretty soon on my Twitch stream, I'm gonna do a charity event, and it's gonna be a month-long event where all the money that gets donated, like through subs, through bits, through any kind of donations, we're gonna donate that to an animal organization. I forgot what it's called right now, but I really like animals, and like anytime I've been like super depressed, I'm like, a dog, hug, love, please. And so it's like, I don't know, I just want to give back. So yeah, catch me on twitch.tv/heckinbear and donate money for pets. Or adopt a pet and tell me about it.
Tell her, please.
Thank
tell
you.
her.
Send me pictures.
There you go.
There you
Proof.
I don't know. I guess the big thing that I'm doing is like I've been trying to do it, but like now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Or it's like I'm gonna finally open an online shop.
Woo!
I didn't think people would be interested in it, but like people keep telling me, do you have some? Or like even asking for this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So that's like it may not like people. A lot of people are doing it, but to me it's like a big step because it's kind of like, oh, people are interested, and it's like,
yay!
I'm really happy. So that's something I'm gonna do. That's my next big project.
Okay, but when?
I'm gonna
You
start.
want dates?
Come on, I'm gonna hold y'all accountable.
Catch me in December. Boom.
December.
There you go.
Okay.
Now I gotta actually do it.
I'm
Oh,
just gonna-
shit.
I'm just gonna get started like setting it up after the con, please. I want to sleep after the con. There you go.
Winter's coming.
Perfect. Okay. Mastermind family, that is going to do it for the show. We hope you enjoyed the show with. Go ahead.
Bear.
Lily Lionheart.
And where can the people connect with you?
Yo, okay, so I got this Twitch. It's Twitch @HeckinBear. Instagram @HeckinBear. Twitter @HeckinBear. MySpace @HeckinBear.
Whoa.
Bebo @HeckinBear.
Whoa.
Friendster. But yeah, all my plugs are @HeckinBear. That's HECKINBEAR. Boom. Bingo. Did it.
Mine is Twitter is _ excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm so tired. _ Lily Lionheart, and then my Instagram and
MySpace.
no.
Oh.
Okay. Causing trouble over here.
My
SoundCloud.
Oh, Instagram and Tumblr. I don't really use Tumblr, but once in a while I'll post stuff. Instagram and Tumblr is Lily Lionheart Draws. So
Very
yay.
good. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.